Good morning, everybody. We are out here. It is the first day of the New York City Half Marathon training block. I'm going to get a 3-mile to 4-mile run in. I'm going to run all the way down to the beach from my parents' house where we're staying here for the holidays. So it's probably around like 3.5 miles or so. It should be fine for our first day. We've been spending time hanging out with our many family members out here on Long Island, and also just hanging out with the dogs, doing things with them. So it's been a great holiday so far. We'll be here through Thursday this week, so you'll see a little bit of running on Long Island. And once we get back home to Beacon, we'll have to finish up the last bit of the week of this first week of the New York City Half Marathon training block. So that's just generally what's laid out in front of me for this week. So let's get started, run down to the beach, and I'll show you the run, of course, after today. So we are going past my high school right now, Blue Point High School. Had a lot of fun there. Just good to be back. We'll be back here officially tomorrow to use the track, so that way I can get my first track session in for this training block. The track should be open to the public, especially without school in session this week. But yeah, this is the high school, and we'll see the track tomorrow. Growing up here, the water was definitely something I took for granted. You know, as a young kid, you don't realize how close you are to a big city like New York City. You have access to the water, friends with boats, all kinds of stuff like that. We have Fire Island just across the bay. So lots of stuff to do as a kid, and I appreciate that much more now, just knowing all the things that I had access to growing up. And it's nice to come back and take a look, see the water, see the little beach here, and just go for a nice run, of course. Everything's so frozen. Sometimes the bay does freeze completely, and then you can go like ice sailing on the bay, but it is salt water, so it has to be very cold to do that. But you can see all the foam kind of froze, and then look at all the icicles up here on the pier. Just all kinds of crazy ice. It's been cold here in New York. I know someone was asking the other day, how's it been with the weather? We had that weird day Friday last week where it was in the 50s, and that's why I was able to go up to Mount Beacon. Everything was a little wet and melting because of those warmer temps, and then it dropped back down again. But it, you know, by me and here in Bayport, it really hasn't been too cold. There was a couple days where it was like maybe 5 degrees to 10 degrees Fahrenheit, but you know, since then it's been back up in the 20s and 30s. So average winter day for us now that really cold front has kind of passed through. So yeah, nice to be back here at the beach, and I think we'll make our way back home. So let's turn around, take one last look at the water, and head back and go over the run. All right, so that was about 3.8 miles, I believe. I'll put it up on your screen now. And not too bad, a little bit chilly out, but really just around like 32, 33 degrees Fahrenheit. Felt very comfortable, great with one layer of a jacket. And I think what I'm gonna do now is just hop downstairs. Got a little bit of a home gym here, and I'm gonna do some of the workouts. I'll talk through a few of them, but just some of the stuff that I should be doing still for my physical therapy and honestly just doing going forwards. There's a lot of stuff around and not too much light, but we do have a squat rack and a bench over here, a couple of other things like a rowing machine, some dumbbells, and just some other free weights. So, you know, this is where I did some workouts when I was younger in high school, if I came home from anything in college. So yeah, this is my little home gym here at my parents'. So the first workout I'm going to do is basically, you could do it with a kettlebell or some other kind of weight that's appropriate for you, you know, somewhere probably between 5 and, you know, whatever pounds, again, works for you. And I'm just using the resistance band to go side to side and do a couple steps. In physical therapy specifically, I do down a few rows with cones, and at each cone, I do somewhat of a squat with the resistance band on, making sure I'm keeping pressure and keeping my knees separated and not letting them collapse in. But for here at home, I'm just going to do a couple steps to the right and squat, a couple steps to the left and squat, and so on. Today, we'll just keep it simple and do, you know, a couple steps squat, couple step squats, and do about 10 sets of those. Next, I'm going to just do some basic step ups. So I'm taking a big step up onto a bench here, and the goal is to balance with my knee raised for about 3 seconds at the top of each of the step ups onto the box. I do this sometimes with some weight, sometimes without, but again, the goal is just to really get that good steady balance, have good control in both my ascent and descent from the big step up onto the bench. And, you know, this is again to help my ankle with some stability, some strength, and also with my quad on the leg where the hamstring is an issue, because again, we found that my quads were a little weak after last training block. So doing a couple of these just on the bench, keeping it simple, stepping it up, keeping it nice, smooth, fluid, hold it nice and tight, make sure I'm balanced, make sure I'm stable, and then come back down and do that for each leg. Now the last thing I'll show you is just some lunges, simple lunges, but this time adding more weight. If you've been watching me, I've been talking about I really need to put more weight into my workouts. Doing just body weight exercises are great to get started, and that worked for me for a long time, but I'm a heavier guy and I really need to put some weight into everything that I'm doing here. So I'm gonna do it with a big bar on my shoulders today. It's not too heavy. These are like, I forget what you call them. They're not the large weights. They're actually 45 pounds. They're the weights that allow you to put things down on the floor without it going too low, so they're full size but not full weight. So it's not as heavy as it looks, but again, just adding some weight to some basic exercises that are great for runners no matter what, and that is the goal for today. So I'll finish up a few other workouts that I'm just not going to share, just going to power through them, go through really quick. But after that, that's really it for today. This is officially kicking off my New York City half marathon training block with the run today. You know, just miles that add to the total throughout each week. Anybody who's training for these races should be doing a large volume of running at an easy pace. Tomorrow we're going to be out on the track doing some repeats. I'll share that with all of you. But again, today, just some easy miles. And with that, I think that's everything. So thanks for watching. Hope you all had a great holiday so far. We're coming up on the new year, so take care, have fun with your families, be safe, enjoy your running this holiday, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.